I'm going to give you a more personal side of UFOs because I don't know life without UFOs. We had friggin' flying saucer ornaments on our Christmas tree. Okay? So I'm going to give you how UFOs look like when you grow up with them. It was fantastic. It was a wonderful upbringing. It was a house full of science and wonder and curiosity. And UFOs were just sort of the side hustle that my father adopted late in life, and that sort of crystallized his interest and his methods that he'd learned to date. But we grew up just a loving family who was super interested in figuring stuff out. And it didn't really matter what it was. My family was colorblind. We were not religious. We didn't care what kind of car you drove. Can you bring interesting ideas to the table and support them? I don't think anybody, even now, has what I would consider a fully realized sense of what this Gordian knot of a puzzle inside an enigma really is. It's so multifaceted. Both my father and Jacques have said that if, when all the truth comes out and the dust settles, if the totality of the UFO experience is encapsulated by nuts and bolts craft coming from other planets, they'll be disappointed because there's so many aspects to it. So, Jacques and my father and others came to feel that the extraterrestrial hypothesis, as attractive as it is, doesn't seem to explain everything. So if we can't even understand that one potential component of it to be fully realized with a whole gamut of other, perhaps more exotic explanations, like interdimensional travel, that's just even more difficult. The modern incarnation of an invisible college idea, as created by my father and Jacques Vallée, is, call it a underground colloquium, a forum in which intellectually honest scientists can gather and share views without fear of ridicule, of being pilloried in the press or by the colleagues, and really get to the bottom of the topic by having subject matter experts and just really smart people together, bashing ideas off each other, trying to borrow from different disciplines, because high-level scientists are highly specialized. And they may not know something that you might think they know about a field because they have gone down one rabbit hole so deep that they know that, but they don't know things broadly associated with that field. And sometimes it takes the insight of somebody who's very smart in another field to be a little bit freer thinking about that field. You put them all together and you can get wonderful new insights and conclusions. I came to the idea of interdimensional consciousness being perhaps part or maybe the root source of the alien phenomena, largely from my father and Jacques. If there are extraterrestrials that come here, first is the non-trivial problem of how do they find us? The universe is vast, and my father would say if you equate the size of the visible universe to the continental United States, we're smaller than a speck of dust in Kansas. So it's not easy just to find us, even though we've been broadcasting episodes of I Love Lucy these many decades. And then if they come from so far away, why are they scaring Farmer Brown at night and not doing that sort of signal disclosure-laden event of landing on the White House lawn and having Walter Cronkite narrate it? Then we have a lot of very sensitive instruments that detect objects that enter and leave our atmosphere. And for what's been disclosed to us, we don't have the sort of associations of those reports along with sightings that we see. Then we have kind of Cheshire cat apparitions and disappearances that don't seem to conform to the niceties of physics as we know it. And then why would they care? These are all challenges to the extraterrestrial hypothesis, which forced my father and Jacques and me and others to think that it could well be aliens coming from other planets, but it's most likely not all that's going on. And so just by process of elimination, you've got to go a couple branches higher on the exotic tree. And that's where I landed with interdimensional travel. My father coined the term close encounters, but he also coined the term high strangeness, which I really, really like. And to me, high strangeness encompasses the totality of a UFO experience. That was the name of my father's first book. It wasn't the UFO sighting. It was the UFO experience. Because for many contactees, the most important part, traumatic or otherwise, of this event is the communication that they feel they've had even before, during, or after the sighting, such that the actual sighting of a craft is really not the most important part to them. It's this feeling perhaps of communion and of understanding and sharing ideas, scary or helpful and comforting, with this consciousness that seems to have come from very far away.